We are in it. We are so in it. All right. Well, now the fun part begins, because we're going to dive in today on the Spiritual Weather Report for the special solstice edition. We're going to dive in and we're going to look at the energies so that we know what to do the next week, how to interpret what's happening, how to understand the signs and the synchronicities. That's the beauty of this information. I want you to get better and better at sensing and directing and understanding and exchanging energy. Everything is energy. Everything is information. You can think of it all as thought. However, thought to us is a kind of a convoluted, heavy place where our mind gets filled with conditions, programs, fears, mindsets, and it creates limits. This is tapping into the energy underneath everything that's happening in your life so you can understand what's the communication, right? What is the world telling you right now? What is your body telling you right now? What are the bees that are in the bugs that are stinging you right now? What's the message, okay? So especially if it keeps repeating, I had at least 5 stings over the eclipse, a couple recently, and I'm working on the energy underneath it. What is it telling me? But it means something for me different than you. So we can look at the broader categories. We're in the sun, we're in the solstice, we're in the longest day of the year if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, or the shortest day of the year. Either way, it's a sun experience, right? The longest dark or the longest light. Energetically, that means a lot to us, and it gives us an opportunity to have moments. If we pay attention to the spiritual, to the energy weather, then we have an advantage. We have the opportunity to plan and to understand. It's going to give you a, I've got to fix this. There we go. It's going to give you a tool to decode almost what's going on in your life. Maybe you use oracle cards, maybe you meditate, maybe you communicate with nature, you walk with nature and talk with nature. Maybe you do different forms of intuitive communication. Maybe you do light body work or energy work. And maybe you do yoga. Maybe you do dancing or art. Okay, there's a lot of ways to get into what we call the flow. And the flow is when you energetically begin to communicate. You sync up with what is optimal for you right now at this time. And that's what we call being in the flow. Doesn't mean everything's easy in the flow. It means everything is as supported as possible. That you're passing through this moment, this experience in the most powerful, supported way possible in the moment. So let's take a death, for example. Someone's going to die in your life, and it's just a fact. So if you expect it to devastate you, and you expect it to just knock you off balance, and you expect it to be horrific, and yes, deep grief is pretty, wow, intense, then of course it will be. If you begin to prepare and understand, it's my relationship to that energy, my understanding of the cycles, but the eternal nature of life. So when we see the sun go the biggest and then the smallest, it's like a breath, right? We breathe in the light and we breathe out. And it's all of those cycles and pulses that create what? Energy moving and interacting, which creates life force, then planets, and then bodies, and all kinds of things. So we are information, and we are designed to receive information, energy all the time, light all the time. And you couldn't be here if you weren't already receiving, transforming, projecting energy every minute of your day. However, is it conscious, and is it creating what you want? Or is it old, and is it heavy? Is it ready to go? What, first, before I dive into the information, what has been coming up in your life? If you've been following me now, at least for the last couple months doing these reports, you know that when we went through the eclipse, We went through a portal, or to me, it looked like a bridge energetically. And when I would work with clients, I would see them, like almost going through this clouds or stars or stargates or just different realities where they were just being taken to a new frequency, a new reality. Well, there's this new movie out, Multiverses, Doctor Strange and the Multiverses. And what's interesting about it is I've been talking about multiverses. I learned about multiverse 35 years ago or something. So it's not a new concept, but it is for the general public. And I was curious as to how they interpreted it. And it was interesting because essentially their concept for the story was you exist in all of the universes, all the different multiverses, but you might be completely different in all of them. And I thought, well, in general, that matches what I've seen energetically, that there are an infinite number of other ways you could be experiencing this moment, other ways you could think about yourself, other relationships you could be having, other jobs you could be doing, other ways you could be feeling. That it's not to make you feel bad about where you are, it's to make you realize that you're standing in the center. And what does the solstice do? Brings us the most light possible. So if you've been in the dark, we've been walking through that eclipse, we didn't quite know where we were, things that were hidden. Then we went through the new moon, more dark energy, right? Things underneath, things hidden, things being gestating under the surface. Now we've had May, and May was all about growth under the surface, right? And pushing up to the surface, erupting maybe out of our bodies and stuff like I talked about, erupting in your emotions, erupting in your marriage. Where were things starting to come up? Erupt doesn't have to be bad. Coming up, all right? So that's what we've been going through. And a lot more before that in the beginning of the year. So when we're in the moment, we live energetically in harmony with what's going on around us, even if what's going on around you is a hurricane. Okay, we've had, we're not having a hurricane, but there's some cyclones in the Pacific that are sending up a little bit of air. I don't think we really got much of it. It went around us, but we had a lot of big wind. That's not unusual being on the beach. But this was the kind of wind that you don't sit out in. It's unpleasant. So I went for a walk in it yesterday because wind is an element of great power. It is air. It is your mental field, and on and on and on. And when winds come, they are the winds of change. You can use that energy to let it blow away. So I was just standing there in the wind, and I had my headphones on, and I was chanting away, and nobody else came out on the beach, even though it was Sunday, because of the wind. And the sun was sparkling, the sea was sparkling from the sun, and there was just, the sun was, it's more now. It's more shiny and more intense and more amazing. It's more full of codes. And I was just letting that air take me. So instead of being like, oh, my day is ruined, I don't get to swim in the ocean, I don't get to do this, I don't get to do that because of the wind, I went into the wind and I said, thank you. And I accepted, okay, this is what's here right now. So then I get to unplug from expectations, disappointments, and other things that make me feel this moment isn't right. And I get to be, wow, well, okay, this moment is what it is. This is the reality I've dialed into. This is the universe, the moment, the state on the scale, the state of consciousness I've dialed into. So if you don't like what you've dialed into, your current reality, then you go, wow, great. You accept where you are and you begin to transform it. You use all these different tools that I talk about and teach and stuff, right? So if you're in the moment, you're more apt to see support, synchronicities, guidance, opportunities, the benefits that might be there, different ways to feel about it, different ways to act. The minute that I got stung by a bee on the eclipse, the first eclipse this spring, I turned everything off for 3 weeks. I turned everything off for 3 weeks because I knew, based on what's been happening for me in the last 2 years, I'm in my journey. I know what the signs and signals mean. I don't know what they mean. I know what some of the patterns mean, and then each one brings a fresh message, okay? So I want you to look at that. What's been coming up under the surface, and my clients are experiencing some big stuff coming up, okay? Big relationships ending, things that were hidden before in all kinds of different relationships, money things, lots of that, because we're in a season of growth now. And if you're feeling unexpressed, if you're feeling limited, if you're feeling not good enough, if you're feeling holding yourself down or back in any way for any other person in your life, even the ones you love the most, then you're going to experience a lot more tension, a lot more pain, a lot more frustration, a lot more struggle as you go through this. So listen into the moment and use the sun, use the light that's here. More light means you can see more. You have more life force coming into you. You have more glow. The sun is many things. Let's get into the slides. Hi, Kier. Hi, Julie. Big stuff, right? Big stuff. Such big stuff. And there's some really cool other things. Hi, Susan and Enza. I know there was a lot of you waiting while I was a little late getting everything synced up, but you know what? Energy's got to align. When the energy's got to align, that's just all I can say, right? So, okay, great. I'm going to show you the slides because I've channeled a lot of information about what we're going through, and then we're going to come back and do our Solstice Sun Gateway Meditation. And this is going to be a very special meditation as these spiritual weather reports develop. I like to do experiences, so they're coming through very small or different in each way, but this one being very powerful, so you might want to be somewhere comfy. Okay, all right, good. Now, as I'm flipping over to my screen here, I want you again, like I said, to be thinking about what it was that has been coming to the surface. What are you noticing? I also want you to think about, what are you noticing about yourself that's different? So what I explained in the eclipse is that you were picked up energetically and carried to a new reality, a place with a new you, with a different you, and a different you who maybe is more calm, has no anxiety now, more able to be present, appreciate, receive, versus feel guilty and carry burdens around. Maybe suddenly people don't bother you, or a particular relationship doesn't bother you anymore. It's very important you pay attention to this stuff. Pay attention to yourself. We've been taught to run and chase after what we want to become and to be and to have and to make other people do and everything else. And that takes us out of being in the moment and seeing what's already here. So when you're here, even if what you're going through is very emotionally painful, remember, it's going because you're being freed, you're being liberated. And the sun is such an excellent ally for that. All right, so these are some of the photos I've taken over the last few days. The sunsets have been epic. One night the clouds were coming and going and forming portals. It was quite amazing. So let's just all take a deep breath in. Draw that sunlight in your breath, through your skin, in through your eyes. Feel it going into your forehead, your third eye. Draw it all the way into your heart. And then let it go. And ask yourself to be here now, fully present in this beautiful moment. I enter this sacred moment in time, in life, in evolution, with presence, willingness, grace, and gratitude. And I give great thanks to the sun and to the great central sun and to Source and to the gold ray and to the divine gold ray energy and the codes and the information and the life force and the kundalini that pours from this infinite field through our great central sun and through this beautiful sun into my 12th great central sun chakra. Feel that flow of spiritual golden sunlight coming in, pouring through you and down through the suns into our world, into this moment, into your 12th chakra, your 11th, your 10th, your 9th, your stellar gateway, opening you up to your soul blueprint, down into your 8th, your soul star, your Akashic records. The gold ray pours now into your crown, into your pineal gland at the back of your crown, infusing it, decalcifying it, bringing spiritual golden sunlight to rejuvenate and renew your 1,000-petaled lotus, the antenna to help you to communicate with all the parts of you and all the realms of the multiverse so that you can live and flow in each moment, supported, loved, awake, aware, light, love, infinite. Take a deep breath in. Let the sun, let Ra, let Kukulkan, let all the sun gods and goddesses and essences and energies throughout time on this planet pour into you, infuse you with the wisdom and the key codes and the ancient connections and the imprints. There are keys going to every part of you, finding hidden locked vaults, finding safes hidden in walls and floors, buried in the back of your solar plexus, pouring down and down and down into your crown, your third eye. Your throat becomes full of sun power. The gold ray spins and turns and opens and begins to reconnect your communication centers. It is growth season. It is time to grow. You draw in more of the sun, bringing it in and pouring it through you. It saturates your heart and encompasses it, warming it, holding it in a golden glow, reconnecting your heart and soul and blueprint and purpose and path and powers and all that you are ready to become. This is what is to fill your mind, your time, your body, your cells, your energy. This is what is to be your obsession. If you must obsess, surrounding your heart in this light, the powers of the sun, of every multiverse, every universe, every time, every space. The light is the light. Is the lines of communication, is the purest for healing, expressing, becoming. Now allow this golden sunlight to pour into your solar plexus. Feel as if it is pouring around your heart and into your belly. You can put your hands on your belly and say, yes, I'm ready and willing to receive. I'm ready and willing to receive. I'm ready and willing to expand my capacity. I'm ready and willing to be the container I came here to be for light. I'm ready to see with the light. I'm ready to feel, sense, breathe, think, create with the light. I am saturated in light. I am filled with light. I overflow with light. There is no end to this light, and it is here for me now. And take a moment to just be, feel that golden power, that sunlight full of codes, full of ancient wisdom, full of life force, full of kundalini, full of gold, full of wealth, full of everything needed to create anything, anywhere, and you have all the tools. The infinite field is infinite. It opens its arms and pours through the great central sun, an incredible unleashing of golden spiritual sunlight at such a high frequency that has never been unleashed on this planet before. The moment is here. The light is here. You are here. There is nothing more to wait for. You have arrived. You think you're not ready. You think you're not prepared. You think you're not enough. You think you're in the wrong place. You think you don't have the energy. You think. Let it go. Let the air season, the mind, the activity you've been floating in through Gemini season slowly begin to lower you. We're moving from air and mind into the Solstice Sun Gate of pure gold light. The masculine ray, the creation ray, the manifesting ray, the protector, the empowerer, the tool man, the handyman, the lover, the father. You feel the sun gods of old, the truth of the sun's energy and power. You feel the plants, the animals, the water, the earth, even the clouds begin to speak to you. We know the information the sun brings us, and we receive it. We know it has everything we need, and we know it comes down without fail, reliable, strong, loving, trustworthy. This is the true divine gold masculine power to complement, to build, to protect, to hold, to love, to inspire, to believe in. To allow space for you to dance, to play, to be, to sprout that feminine spring of silver secrets, safe inside, bathed with the sun. It continues to pour to you, through you, around you. Receive it, feel it, let it fill you up. Let it be big and bold and bright. Let it come into whatever area of your life you are ready to be big and bold and bright. Overflowing with the sun, all symbols of abundance and growth and expansion and duplication and increase and prosperity within you and around you. You feel the inspiration like a tiny sun within every cell beginning to pulse and pulse with a heartbeat of gold light, liquid light. You feel your crown on fire, opening, expanding. You feel the fruit within your belly ready to ripen, waiting all this time for you to say, yes, I'm ready to be who I am. I'm ready to walk into Cancer season, to watery emotion, to walk into my heart, and to be here with the abundance and to receive the emotional energy blended into an elixir of growth and healing for me and my purpose with this golden spiritual sunlight. And it is the antidote to the overwhelming emotions, to the painful emotions, to the stuck emotions, to the shame or the guilt, to the pain, to the anger, to the grief, to the regret, to the loss, to the depression, to the craving, to the blame, to the victimhood, to the resentment. These energies are going to be light. They're going to lighten up and you are going to see them. You are going to choose to release them, to let them dry in the sunlight, to rise out of the low states, and to walk through this Solstice Sun Gateway unburdened by these past perceptions of your limits, past perceptions of your weakness, the fears of retribution lay at your feet. You are complete. Step out of them, over them, away from them, and move towards the portal of the sun. The perceptions that you have to carry guilt or burden. You're not enough. You were enough. You'll never be enough. It's not enough. There isn't enough. All forms of lack lie at your feet. Acknowledge them. Let it go. Let it go out of the sacral. Release it from the root. Let it go out of the hands, the throat. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Step over the piles, move towards the sun solstice gate. Stand now in the pool of light, of your purpose, your path, your destiny, your soul's blueprint, the potential possibility, the matrix within the seed, within your 8 original cells, within you have the life force that can be awakened in this moment to grow, to clear your meridians, to connect your chakras, to become whole again, to become a network of light that you carry with you wherever you go. You must step over and leave behind that you have ever been less than, made a mistake, failed, should have or shouldn't have. It is done. It is complete. Accept it exactly as it is, because you do not know the truth of what really happened every step of your life and all of the lives that are here in this moment with you to walk through this soul sun gateway. Walk forward and begin to see and feel the lifetimes, the pains, the wounds, the lack, the fear, the anxieties. They line this pathway and join you as you walk towards this gateway. The path elongates now in front of you. You're walking over nothing, clouds or nothingness. It's just a golden path through space and time. And you can feel the warmth of the solstice. You can feel the sun's power. You can feel the golden ray and all the movement, the power it holds to give endlessly, give and give and give and give, and never stop, never slow down, never hold back. You have 10 steps to take into this gateway. Prepare yourself now. 1, I am that I am, and I am here, ready and willing to leave it all behind, known and unknown, trusting I no longer need these patterns, identity, energies, beliefs, or energies. 2, I am ready to be free. I am ready to truly be free in my mind, in my body, in my cells, in my emotions, in my relationships, in my finances, in my creativity, in my purpose, in my communication, in my self-love. I am ready to be free. 3, I am the light. I am the light. There is no darkness that is truly me. I am always the light, like the sun. I may go behind a cloud, I might block it or bury it, but I am always the light. 4, I stand balanced like a pyramid, and I attune to all the pyramids of the sun around the planet, thousands of them, in valleys, on mountains, and under the water, still visible or gone, the etheric temples of the sun still capture the sun, speak to the sun, communicate with the sun, amplify the sun, and utilize the sun for growth and rebirth. I am aligned with this network and grid. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 5. I am free to be me, and I am love, and I accept love, and I accept that I am love, and I allow myself to be loving, and I accept and am ready to see in the full light of the sun how lovable, beautiful, shiny, and bright I really am. 6. Listen to your heart. 7. Listen to your belly. Tune in to the sun pouring to and through your solar plexus, to the keys turning all the old locks and vaults and opening the windows and clearing the pathways. 8. Emerge from your solar plexus like a temple into your future. Feel your third eye and your pineal connecting the dots. All the glands in your brain lighting up and the sun pouring through them, opening your full inner eye. All levels of chakras, glands, powers, antennas, receivers, sensors. 9. I am the channel and conduit for the divine gold ray and sun of truth and divine love. Feel that and be that. And when you feel you are fully immersed in and flowing with this gold light, take the 10th step through the Solstice Sun Gateway. Now just be here. Be in the gateway. You have 3 days or so of being in this passageway, completely enveloped in light. There are planets forming a stellium. The sun is bringing more power to your pineal. You're awakening your higher senses, your clairs, your clairsentience, your clairvoyance, your clairaudience, your intuitive gifts. Immersed for 3 days in this golden envelope of light, you are exactly where you're meant to be. Immerse yourself back here, repeat this, absorb it, be in it, transform with it. And when you emerge, be the clear and open channel for the new you. In this portal, you will begin to blend with the future you. Which one will you choose? Which one will you allow the light to show you? Enjoy until I bring you back. Now, breathe. Breathe. And gently and slowly keep yourself expanded and connected to this flow, to this light, to this bridge. Be in this envelope of light. Come into awareness of your body, your fingers. Move your hands over your body slowly. Feel the light in your senses and your veins, moving through your mind and your eyes. Feel and sense yourself and merge the two worlds together. This season of growth is for you to be free of the old limits. Live in the light. Carry it with you and create new, fresh, unique love unto you. Love unto you. Love surrounds you. Light unto you. Light surrounds you. Accept, receive, relax. Come into the center of your being. Put your hands on your solar plexus. Thank you for the light. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am light. I am love. I am flow. I am aligned in a clear and open channel to this light, and I am enveloped in the loving Solstice Sun Gateway of golden ray healing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So it is. Okay, well, our solstice meditation process came through right away, as we all figured out. So if you've been around me a while, you know that I go with the flow. So sometimes it happens when it happens, and it was quite beautiful. So make sure you repeat that for the next few days and any other time you feel like it. But wow. So I just want to thank and share some of our sunstones. This gorgeous calcite here. I can do that. Here we go. And my beautiful citrine, one of the nicest citrines I've ever seen. They're very hard to find now, real ones. Citrine holds the gold ray, and the gold citrine never lowers its vibration. It's also attuned to the wealth ray, higher realms, lots of other really wonderful powers that it has. And so I always have one with me when I'm doing my sessions. I always have one near me. We talk. I have a little pyramid one. And here we have a sunstone. I don't know what this is exactly, but look at that sun. Here we go. And what's really special, looks like an eye on both sides. Inner eye, outer eye. And I got it at Uxmal, which is a sacred Mayan site near here, a gorgeous big one we've done, and we will be doing in September. Come to the retreat. Go to shop.nanakasha.com. Make sure, talk to me. We're getting ready to change the price, change everything. Actually, not everything, but a lot of things, because it's time to get serious about coming and making this happen. Okay, good. So let's go ahead and share with you now more information. That was exquisite, and it gave you an opportunity to, as soon as I saw this picture that I took the other night, it just turned into the gateway and pulled us right in. So information that you want to know about while you're enveloped in the gateway for the next few days. The peak is tomorrow. Today, of course, you've probably been feeling it, but the 3 days to me make an envelope or an eye shape. So right now we're on the edge of the eye, getting bigger, bigger, bigger. Tomorrow it's wide open and it goes down the other edge of the eye. And because we talked about it's most light on the planet, or dark, depending on where you live, we focus on the aspect of the solstice as the longest day and the most light, like we just did. However, if you do live somewhere where you are going into winter, it is still a sun gateway, right? The sun is still there, and that's what really came through with that. I feel it. I remembered it right now, is that the sun is always there. It doesn't go out. We're always there. Our light is always there. We might go behind a block. We might go behind the moon. We might go behind a fear. We might hide ourselves because we were told we weren't good enough or whatever. However, your full light is still there. So this infusion, by the way, that we just experienced is filled with all kinds of energy work and shamanic work and light body work and infinity light weaving that I do. So you're going to continue to keep receiving this download. This is an infusion. This is a download. This is a healing, a very powerful one. All right. So now you can focus on that gold ray, and I highly recommend you get the chart of rays in the shop. If you don't have it, it's free. So we're just going to refocus on everything is energy. Energy is information or thought that moves and vibrates at a particular rate or speed. So these stones we just looked at, they're vibrating at lower rates, but that doesn't make them dense in the sense that they don't have qualities or powers. Crystals, clear quartz crystals, are very high frequency, easy to program, and are used in computers and all kinds of things. So they have their own unique frequency, but as far as their density, physically, they vibrate very slow. Water vibrates a little faster, air vibrates a little faster, you understand. So the speed goes up, the rate goes up as you go from shame to blame to grief to anger, you're much more energy at anger, and then you go into acceptance or willingness or inspiration or hope or love or harmony, and it's lighter and lighter. The lighter the state, the higher your consciousness is vibrating, and the easier it is for you to access and communicate with and connect to other realms, other communication, more guidance, more tools, more fun as you're going through whatever you're going through in life. So unfortunately, or fortunately for, I guess, what had to happen to us, we were all taught that we had to focus on our day-to-day life and paying the bills on time and being what everybody wanted us to be and blah, 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 blah. And that's dying now. That's ending now. We don't need to be a part of any of these tribes or communities or institutions in order to be safe. We have to depend on, we need to look into our own authority. And that means that you have to accept it's my job to raise my rate. That when I raise my rate, I see more solutions. It's easier instead of wallowing around in pity or waiting for somebody else to move on with their life in whatever way, agree to something. You can't wait anymore. It's just going to cause a lot of pain. So when the energy isn't moving, it's a state of being like a hard rock or like a flowing river or a gust of wind. We just said that. All different vibrational rates and speeds. Here's another one of my pictures from the other night, and it was just leading me. This was Saturday into the solstice so beautifully. Look at this juicy orange sunlight in the water, and the sun's already gone down. Right? And this went on for 40 minutes. It kept changing. It's just an array of fabulousness. This is what determines your life, okay? So the speed of your consciousness determines your life, the state that you're in. That's why I give you guys the scale of consciousness or vibrational consciousness for free, so you can see. I'm always in disappointment. I'm always burdened with guilt. I'm always feeling like I'm stuck. You can go find on the scale of consciousness where you are, and you can start to say, what can I do? What can I be? What could I change? What could I release? What could I acknowledge? What could I do this process we just did for to consciously help attune me to what has been completed, what I no longer need to drag around and keep alive anymore. Because guess what? I can bet you $1 million that there's something in your life that you're still dragging around that you even know isn't good for you anymore. There's a relationship, there's a job, there's a belief about yourself. Maybe there's some clothes you keep dragging around that don't help out anymore, right? There's a belief, or there's a way that you act or pretend to be or cover up yourself. All right. You have to trim this dead wood stuff, right? So that the new growth can grow. So the faster is lighter, less grief, less guilt, more inspiration and harmony. Sun. Now we want to just be so focused on the sun. The ancients loved the sun, and they weren't like superstitious idiots. They were brilliant and way more advanced than us in so many ways. We're barely coming back to touch some of the wisdom and knowledge and understanding they had. And the sun, so they depict it as a serpent coming down, from a ray of sun. And then we make up stories and start to say these people were evil because snakes are evil. Snakes aren't evil. Okay, the snakes are a symbol of life force, of transformation, of growth, of shedding the old. We need to shed the old. But the world has conditioned us to say, stay the same, do what I want you to do. Stay in fear, stay in guilt. You're not good enough on your own. You need me to tell you what to do. Patriarchy isn't about men per se. Patriarchy is the structure of a culture that says, do what we say you should do. Whatever area that is, this is how you should dress. This is when you should go to work. This is how you should make money. This is how you should feel about your life. This is. So when you use the sun and you understand that whether it was an ancient sun god as a serpent or standing on a temple with smoke, with understanding that smoke rising up was a gift, that there was an exchange of energy. Energy talks to each other. The lighter your energy is, the higher you are on the scale, the more often, the more you're going to have a lighter life. You're going to have access. You won't feel desperate. You won't be going, I need this and I want that and I want to be abundant and I want this, and you won't be saying affirmations 50 times a day. You're going to be just standing in wonder at how amazing you feel in the light of where you are right in this moment. So use the sun as a guide, God, a source of light, life, and ascension codes, because it is. The sun is a power source that brings energy, it brings information, it brings life force, and it brings it in many more languages than we speak, right? So plants know how to receive the sunlight and turn it into life force, right? The earth knows how to use the sunlight. All different forms of elements and energy, conscious energies, the plant, the animals, the fish, everything knows how to use the sunlight. We don't think we know how to use the sunlight, but we do when we tap into it. And now you're in the sun portal, and now you're going to be able to tap into these codes. Maybe you're going to get downloads from ancient guides or mentors or times when you had lifetimes there. Really allow yourself to go into nature, to sit on the earth, to talk to the plants, to see what is starting to communicate with you in this light. It's like suddenly the electricity and the internet and the phone are back on, and you can call people. The sun carries all these codes and potentials because each of us receive and utilize and digest sun energy differently depending on our energetic structure, our soul's makeup, and the state of our consciousness. Now, the state of your consciousness is the part that holds everything back, because this is where you hold the beliefs that certain things are bad or good, or you aren't this enough and that's in the whatever, okay? And I'm just skipping over that because we don't have time to go deep into all of these patterns that are coming up. But get a soul session, a soul reading with me. It's an excellent time. The Magnetize Your Beloved sessions end in 2 days. They're amazing, and they're really inspiring self-love, of course, and seeing the relationships, a lot of these relationships that really aren't serving you, but you're holding on to, you're tolerating, you're putting up with because you're older, you're comfortable, you're afraid of change. These are going to come up for renewal anyway, all right? So the higher your vibration, the more sun energy you can absorb and use and benefit from. So the more you do your spiritual work, your energy work, your clearing work, your self-work, your self-care, every single day, when these opportunities come along, like right now we're in the sun portal, the more you're going to be able to absorb and benefit from it. The more you can grow and evolve and change and stretch and, bust off the old little, shell like a seed, just like a plant, taking in the correct amount of sunlight information. Right now, on my property, we've done a lot of renovation. We're getting ready for the retreat in September. We have a jacuzzi, a steam room, a pool, the beach, and we're putting in a gorgeous, exquisite kitchen with green exotic granite from Brazil. So it's just giant piece of Gaia crystal just vibrating, going to be vibrating in the center of the house, bringing us so much healing and power. And I'm starting to bring plants in. But I have half of my house on the beach that gets strong winds, a lot of salt, and I have a lot of coconut trees, so there's a lot of places where there's only shade and dappled sun, and then I have places where there's a lot of sun. So I'm actually learning from the plants. I'm talking to them, I'm moving them around, I'm putting them in pots and putting them in and watching them day to day. How does this one like the sun? How does this one like the wind? Then I change them. They know what they need, and they tell me, right? They may tell me by getting brown or wilting, or they may tell me by an inspiration or intuition, but I want you to trust your inner knowing. The sun is this power force bringing this stuff. You have the decoder within you. Look at this. This was part of the sunset cloud adventure. Just, angels and wings and We're raising our consciousness, breaking free from old limited paradigms, mindsets, institutions, because we're growing. This is the growing season. Abundance, lush, filled with life for you too. Do not put yourself on the sideline. Do not say, I'm last, my kids are first, my husband's first, my job is first, everything else is first. It is not first. You cannot do it that way. Masters do not do it that way. They have to be their best. So they take their time to do their energy work, to do their love work, to do their inner work, to do their self-care, to do their activations, and to understand the energies that are going on around them so they can be the very best in every moment for everything and everyone. So now, since we've already walked through our Solstice Sun Gateway meditation, remember to repeat it to recharge your solar plexus, re-empower yourself for the growth available to you. Let's see what else we have here. This is some more of the energies, obviously, but think about that light, sunlight, bathing sun. You don't have to actually get in the sun if you burn. And remember, plants that go out, that a lot of plants like a lot of light, but not direct sunlight. Maybe that's your way of receiving light, okay? Take this massive opportunity to draw in all the sun codes. Tune into that great central sun, spiritual sunlight. Let it infuse your kundalini, fill up your solar plexus so you can stand in your power and not seek it. That's a big distinction that's happening right now. Big, bold, bright energy. All right. So we experienced all of this stuff in our meditation, but let's just quickly reinforce it into our logical present mind. We're having a crown chakra and pineal gland infusion. All right now from the sunlight, that's your antenna, your 1,000-petaled lotus, that little pine cone that opens up and can connect and receive. There's more life force in the sun, more dreams in the dark. Sun and dark are food for your pineal gland, the gland for your crown chakra, and the seat of your soul. So this is an amazing moment when you have a lot of light and a little dark. The pineal is going to be getting a completely different kind of infusion and growth, okay? The pineal feeds you the hormones you need to grow and opens the connection to all kinds of other realms of energy and support. So grow your inner connection to source, your higher self, and beyond in this sun season. So you have this envelope for a few days, but we're talking about the summer. Okay, the summer season is starting. So for the next few months, especially the next month, there's going to be a lot of growth. Now's the time to awaken your intuition, your clairvoyance, travel into other dimensions on the light, hold the intention to receive help, healing all levels. What things in your life can use that energy right now? So I would suggest, I have some questions for you. You write them down. I'll have Donna put them in the email. Make sure you're on nanakasha.com for our newsletters and reminders. And subscribe here if you want to be notified when we go live too. And so what kind of things could use this light, could use this help with healing? What kind of things in your life could use big, bright, bold energy? I want you to lead from your heart. That's why as this infusion came in, I noticed it came in, really did some beautiful work on the throat chakra, which is a communication center. And then it went around the heart, like bathing it, like hugging it, like coating it, so that it's just protecting it almost. It was so beautiful. And then pouring down in there. So can you be bigger than you ever have before? Can you be brave enough to let your true self shine brighter than ever? Can you accept this energy and let it help you be more bold for your highest good and purpose? So you can ask yourself that and just watch your energy. Do you have fear? Do you have excitement? Do you feel a strange sensation somewhere? Is there a memory, a taste, a thought? What happens? And then ask yourself this again and do some free flow writing. Just let the sun, the envelope of light you're in, allow you to just flow with answers to these questions so you can see where you are and what blocks you. This is why we look at the energy right now to see how it can support the changes and the creations in your destiny right now. So where can you be more bold and bright and big? And big means you let your energy shine big, not that you're trying to be bigger than others. Leave the pushy manipulation for others, okay? There's desperation running rampant. There's more scams than ever right now. People are just acting like lunatics. Step outside of it. Just stand and absorb and emit your power, and it's enough. You do not have to be big to push other people away. You can be bold and brave and stand in your power. More expressive, honest, creative, confident, and strong. Where in your life could you be these things? More bold, bright, and big in your expression, your honesty, your creativity, your confidence, and your strength. When you expand your capacity for light, that's what everything I do with you, whether it's a class or the light body school or energy work or a healing or a soul reading or a soul retrieval, whatever it is I do with you, it's to help you understand yourself better, see, sense, move the energies that have been stuck, take you into a place where you can start tuning into your own inner senses and authority, and expand your capacity for light by dumping the old burdens and energies you carry, getting rid of the old limiting beliefs that you believe, all of these things. Because when you have a stronger capacity for light, the chakra upgrade class, which is available in the shop, was designed because we have to upgrade the same way you would if you bought an old cottage built in the 1930s. You would have to upgrade the wires. You'd have to upgrade the plumbing maybe. You'd have to upgrade this stuff. You wouldn't have internet. So you couldn't be living in the higher frequencies and the flow of energy, the current of energy that could come to you. So you have to expand the capacity and the strength of your structure for that capacity of light. So you might be like, oh, there's too much sunlight, it's overwhelming me. And it might, or you might only take in a certain amount. You can only take in the amount you have a capacity for. So that's why you do your work every day. That's why you do your path and your energy, because the source code, sunlight information, is available. And when you're able to take in more of it, you have a capacity for more light. You have the energy and information needed to move out of the low states of fear, shame, guilt, blame, and craving, and anger, and all those. So you can rise like the sun up into willingness, permission, compassion, inspiration. Okay, so there's a few other energies that are converging this week. We've focused on the sun, it's the star. So the Solstice Sun Gateway bringing more power. We've talked about all of that. Now, the 12th ray of creation is also a part of that, the ultimate masculine manifesting wealth ray that contains all you need to create. The gold ray energy is more amplified at the solstice, so you just have more abundance, more energy to create with, more potential, more tools, more paints, as a painter. Nature is alive and buzzing with guidance right now. Listen and find a spot in nature that will assist you to move into a higher harmony. A combination of sun energy at its peak plus water and emotion, which is the Cancer. So we're leaving Gemini, which is an air sign, which is about mind. So you've probably had a lot of ideas and mind and thinking and been really focused in the mind. Now we're moving into a water sign. That means that the emotions are going to be much more where you're going to be living, you're coming from. You might get sucked into them. You might get overwhelmed by them. You want to be aware, and the sun is going to give you that help so you can go into the heart. Okay, so these are blending all with the summer growth energy to give you a unique and strong time for blossoming and producing fruit. Think about what that means in your life. What are you ready to take steps towards? Fruit, what things? New life, new relationship, new business, new creation, new project, new what? All right. The solstice is the gateway from the air and the mind into the heart center, and the energies are going to be doing that to you now. And then starting today, you're going to feel yourself coming more out of your mind and into your emotions. The optimum would be to move into your heart deeper, and be careful not to get overwhelmed with emotions. Cancers can do that. connect with your heart energy and your inner soul's guidance. Stay aware not to drag the fear in the mind into the emotions. So if your mind has been repeating fear, if your mind is seeing disaster, if your mind is hooked into the low states, clear it. Use this process we just did before you go into this emotional time, okay? Because you drag the fear into the emotions and now you're just going to trigger a lot. This Cancer season can be about beauty and, healing emotions and fun and pleasure, but it can also overwhelm and get you bogged down. So if you feel that way, step into the sunlight. There's also something going on right now that's called a stellium. I just like that word. It sounds like stellar. It sounds like fabulous. It sounds like stars. But it actually means several planets are lining up. Right now, that's the moon. Jupiter is the planet of expansion and good luck and abundance. Chiron is the wounded healer, so that's healing the wounds and becoming the healer of your own self or a healer for you. Mars, of course, we're familiar with the energy. It's that masculine energy. It can build or it can go to war. And Eris, I'm not familiar with as much, but I know that this is giving you together, merging, like the same way that happens with the frequencies and the energy work and the essences that I make. I take 5 different essences and mix them. It's 5 different frequencies that mix together to form its own new frequency. So the cool thing is all of these planets are coming together to form their own new frequency. And it's kind of like a power, okay? It's kind of like a little field to assist you stepping into your power, taking advantage of this light and this sun light. Awesome. So the power is increased because the planets are in the sign of Aries, which is a fire sign and a strong sign and confident sign, and all of that. And so we're going from air to water in a fiery, passionate star impulse of power. Sounds very cosmic, very exciting, sort of space age and stuff. So where can you step into your own authority? Where can you lead? Where can you take this quantum leap? Where you can you step on a starship and take off? Where can you lead yourself out of the dark or lead yourself, leave others? Ask what you can do to align with the energy that's all around you, carrying you through this season. Use the fire energy under the mind and emotion to access your power and passions. This is really going to be a moment to think about, are you doing what you really want? And is it time to let go and enter the emotions that block you from doing what you want? So you might find that you come from this sun filled with the light, ready, and you move right into some of these emotions that have been blocking you. Well, if you perceive them as lack, negativity, blocks, and they come up, don't get upset. Be happy, immerse, accept them, gather them up. It's like finding weeds in your garden. You don't just go home and cry about it. You pick them up and say, thank you, good, let's move you to a different state of being. So what do you really want to be doing? Because you're going to see and feel that where you are out of alignment, because you've been through the eclipse, you've let go of a lot, things are come up from the surface, and now the sun is coming to lighten it all up for you. All right, everybody, thank you so much. I'm so blessed to have been here with you. Thank you for sticking with me through this. Was a gorgeous sun solstice meditation. Please share it with everyone. I look forward. I'm going to be sharing more soon about the retreat. So if you don't know about it, go to shop.anakasha.com and click on the retreat. And there's a page also that has a lot of photos and videos, and we're going to be updating that for you. But we go on a sacred journey. And we go on a sacred journey. We come to the house, you get pampered, you get food, you get senses, you get activations. We tune into the energies of the equinox. We go to the pyramids, we go to the cenotes, which is these beautiful pure waters. And we get to experience all the energies we have here, all the beauty we have here in the Maya land. And incorporated into a massive transformation. So if you talk to anybody who's ever been to one of these, they had a profound and massive transformation, personal, spiritual, life-changing, and it's fun and it's loving, and it's a great getaway when you get out of your life. So I hope to see you soon, and enjoy your solstice envelope. Namaste, everybody. Bye-bye. Oh, let me just quick check in over here. So, so beautiful. Sandra said, thank you. Linda, Julie said that was so powerful and beautiful. I realized during the meditation that I have all sides of eruptions. My throat has erupted with canker sores, my arms with a rash, my ankles with the mosquito bites. I've gotten more bites. I had a rash. I've had these, like what I would have called like a pimple underneath. They never came to a head. I had an old boil kind of sort of half come up. So yeah, lots of things. Hi, Amy. I've been showing signs of high blood pressure lately. Is that related to the energy shift, Sandra? It can definitely affect it. It seems that it's more like, looks like a restriction for you, Sandra, like you're holding on to something. But that will push and you're restricting, so it causes that. Hi, Deborah. I don't know why this doesn't show up with my name. I'm having an issue with my eye, waiting for the eye doctor, listening to you. Thank you for the powerful healing. You're so welcome. Thank you, Susan. Thank you so much. I'll be writing for the next hour, just letting the energy flow through me. I know, always and every time. I love you, Julie. I love all of you. Many blessings. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful solstice. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I'm really excited because I have been living my life aligned with energy for a long time now, but it was a little more and a little more and a little more and a little more. And now it's the number one thing. And I kept thinking, how can I give this to you more, give you a way to be in that flow more? Because when you have a busy life and no one else is saying, oh, it's the solstice, it can feel strange and difficult to change and put yourself where you're meant to be. Do what you need to do. So thank you so much. Please share this, and much love. Thank you, Ra. Thank you to all the energies. Thank you to the solstice and to the circle and to the gold ray. May this circle be open yet unbroken, and this light walk with us, infuse us, lift us up, heal us, and enlighten us. Thank you, thank you, thank you.